Hi, this is David Brodsky from English Tutor Toronto, and today we're going to be talking about reading comprehension and kids. Uh, One problem that kids have with reading is that they get bored with it. Now, we're talking now about children ages 5 to 14 who um, just don't take an active interest in what they read in school, at home, etc. Um, this doesn't happen with all texts, it doesn't happen with all kids, and it certainly happens with adults all the time where people, of course, just get bored with what they're reading. So this could be taken as a reading comprehension in kids, but it could also be like a general reading comprehension strategy. So this applies to adults as well. Um, so, the first thing that you want to do when you're trying to encourage a child to read to pursue reading, like you have to kind of set a goal. What's the goal that you want to set with your what's the goal that you want to set with your child? Um, if they're not reading in school, or if they're not enjoying the things that they're reading in school, maybe it's not that important. But if they're trying to read books, they completely give up and they don't want to do it anymore. That can become a concern for parents and for teachers because you want to see your kids succeed at these tasks. So, um, if the goal is to get the child to enjoy reading more, or to get them to not to persevere in the reading process, then the first thing that you have to do is to acknowledge that this is this is the adult goal. This is the tutor's goal, the teacher's goal, my goal, the parent's goal. But this is not the child's goal necessarily. So you have to, when you approach the child, you have to see if they would accept that goal. This is admittedly harder than it sounds because um, in order to help somebody achieve some kind of objective, you need to make sure that they are motivated to pursue said objective. Motivation is a big problem. Motivation is a big problem with kids because I mean they spend so much time being told what to do and how to do it that they don't really have time to figure out for themselves what they want or don't want. And so, as far as reading goals are concerned, this is a pretty basic one, and it might be something that kids can get behind. So the first thing that you want to do, first things first, you want to choose reading materials. Now, I can't stress the importance of this. Let them choose. You sit down. You have to. I mean, even before you do reading materials, you have to approach them and tell them about a problem they're having. Now, the problem could be in school with their grades, in school with teachers, or in life, and when you see them around the dinner table or you see them at home in life where they aren't taking an active interest in reading or giving up easily, etc. So if your students are basically in this situation where they're not where they're having trouble, the first thing that you want to do is you want to approach them with this problem. Approach them with the problem. And also, I can't stress this enough, ask them what they want. Do they want help with what they're reading? Do they want to do better at school? And why do they want to do better at school? I mean, the school system is actually kind of not a great thing because students, it's not great for them to be wanting to do better to compete with others because we're building a society then where people only want to do things in order to outcompete other people. It's not healthy, right? People should be learning things in order to um, achieve a healthier kind of mindset. But whatever it is, um, you start with the problem, see how they want to approach it. And then if they're approaching it through like practicing more reading, let them choose the reading materials that they want to practice. Okay? Now this is where the strategy, now that we've laid the base groundwork for this, the second thing is the strategy itself. Now, in order to illustrate this, I have a comic book open, a page from a comic, and I want to find something shorter. So this is from Spider-Man. This is from something that I was reading with a grade 5 student. Um, and I don't have much time because our friend Bandicam only allows for 10 minutes. But the strategy is basically this: you read the page, or let's do it with one panel. There was the fight with the Stegron that wiped out an entire wing of the Museum of Natural History. This is one panel of a comic. Okay, without any context, obviously you don't know what's going on. But the guiding question of this strategy is this: in the panel or page or chat or several pages or paragraph or chapter or etc., in whatever we just read, is there something that you'd like to know more about in order to enjoy the story more? The end goal is enjoyment. So I would answer this question by asking, who's Stegron? Which part of Marvel is Stegron from? You know, I'd ask who Stegron is. And then as you go through the text, um, you create a list of questions. In this one, the fight with Hydro Man that knocked out the power grid from Columbus Circle to the Bronx. Um, why is Spider-Man drawn in this way? I mean, that's not really, yeah, like who was the illustrator for this comic book? That's something that would help me enjoy that story more. Who is the illustrator? Who is the illustrator for the comic? So these are things that personally for me would help me enjoy the comic. Your child may have their own answers to these questions. And these questions form a homework question list. And you create all these questions with their associated page numbers, page 4, page 5, whatever. And then basically what ends up happening is now you have homework for the kid to do. And what that means is they're going to go in to these texts, look at these moments, and then go online and try to find answers to these questions. I encourage you to let your kids use, safe internet sites. I also encourage you provide homework for the kids, and I also encourage let them choose their own homework. If they're choosing their own reading goals, you have to let them choose their own homework. So this is basically the approach as a whole, like a very broad this is generally the approach. And if you do this, you're going to get your kids more into reading. You're going to get your kids more into the stories that they're going through, and you can get them out of picture books eventually, hopefully, into short stories, right? Um, without pictures. And that is going to help with, that's going to help build that skill set. So, this is David Brodsky, English Tutor Toronto. I hope that this teaching strategy for reading comprehension will prove useful for you and the kids you teach. Have a good day.